And in Game 1, we can say that familiarity contributed to the success of the JY Batang Kankaloo with their sixth man cheering their hearts out, which boosted the players' morale all throughout the match. But redemption mode on for the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants, whom we know started strong but just fell short. And our match at hand is Division Semifinals, Game 2 of our Junior MPBL D-League. The Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo going up against the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cholo Pangilian, covering the action with Kyle Sanchez and Nicole Lim at the sidelines. And Kyle, in Game 1, it was no key and baklaan, no problem for the Caloocan Batang Kankaloo. But obviously, again, just like what I said, the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants redemption mode on, hopefully to tie the series up one apiece.
Well, Kian Baklaan is suiting up here for the Caloocan Batang Kankaloo, so that's going to change the dynamic of this ball game. But will the results be different? Well, that's what we're here to find out.
And obviously, again, we'll talk about Game 1 shortly. But first, let's see the playoff bracket. Again, it's the Batang Kankaloo holding a much higher seed with the second seed, and Quezon City holding that sixth seed. So that is the reason why they're going to meet in our division semis. So let's see if, again, Caloocan can do a sweep against their opponents, or if Quezon City, again, can extend their series. But now let's talk about Game 1. Again, we've mentioned it. It was a close call for Caloocan, even without Kian Baklaan. They won against Quezon City 76-74.
Well, that's right. It was a close ball game all throughout, but in the second and third quarter, that's when Quezon City closed the gap between them and Caloocan. But of course, in the fourth quarter, Les Gasingan really turned on the Jets. But unfortunately, the breaks of the game just bouncing the way of the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo, which was a painful loss. 2 points is always going to be a painful loss for any team. But this is Quezon City's last chance to force a Game 3 and extend this series and keep their season alive.
And of course, for each team, there are key players that gave them the win, or perhaps was one of the reasons why they performed well in that game. For Team Caloocan, it's Lance Masiglat of the San Sebastian Golden Stags, and of course Edson Serrano of the CSB Blazers.
That's right. Both players had a double-double. Lance Masiglat had 12 points and 10 rebounds to go along with a single assist. No? For Edson Serrano naman, he had 16 and 10 to go along with 3 assists and 1 steal. So definitely the players to watch out for both of these teams.
So it's a big man matchup, at least according to our last game. But again, just like what you said, Kian Baklaan is present and healthy and not injured at all for the Batang Kankaloo. So let's see if that's going to be a booster for them, or if can Quezon City again extend their series. That's a question we're all hoping to answer after this game. But for now, we'll be turning it over to our venue announcer, Denzel Santiago, for our starting 5.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to New Era Recreation and Fitness Center here in Quezon City, as we bring you the playoffs of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League inaugural season. This is the Game 2 of the Best of 3 Division semifinals, featuring the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo versus the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. We are live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And now, let us meet the starters. First from the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo. Guard number 8, Kian Baklaan. Also guard number 29, Anrex Magno. At forward number 24, Joko Borsello. Also forward number 6, Clint Manzano. Playing center number 2, Lance Masiglat. Head coach RJ Patricio, assisted by John Essa. Team manager John Aceborn. Team owner, Honorable Congressman Dean Asisio. And now, let us meet the starters from your Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. Guard number 16, Dylan Despi. Also guard number 0, Hugo Soto. At forward number 15, Matt Hukom. Also for number 26, Nurhaden Natsumalim. Playing center, number 99, Edson Serrano. Head coach Kim Singo, assisted by Mike Alomot. Team manager Randy Miuela. Team owner Vice Mayor Gian Soto. Congressman Arjo Atsaide. Our games officials for today's match, crew chief Alan Barrio. Umpire 1, Antonio Bagione. Umpire 2, Mengdig Ismada. Our executive director, Mr. J.R. Navarro. Junior MPBL D-League Commissioner, Mr. Kate Picasso. Once again, this is the playoffs of your Manny Pacquiao Senior MPBL D-League, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
In our door-eyed bola ng Pinoy, starting 5 for Caloocan, it's Baclaan, Magno, Bohorcelo, Manzano, and Masiglat. And for Quezon City, it's Despi, Soto, Hukom, Datumalim, and Serrano. And again, that game one, that's something else for actually both teams. Again, 4 players from each team scored in double figures, so that's something to take note. That's an evidence of how hard fought that battle was. But this game, again, that guy, Kian Baclaan, is present for Caloocan. So definitely that's gonna present some changes for them. And if you're Quezon City, you don't want to be startled by that fact. Again, the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo only getting 1 loss in that elimination round, second only to the Batang Sunwa Knights. And Quezon City, the 6th seed, having a losing record actually of 3-4. But then again, it's another David versus Goliath matchup.
And in the playoffs, anything can happen as Hukom starts things off for the Quezon City Alpha Giants. And even with granted, Kian Baclaan wasn't there last game, but it was only a 2-point loss for Quezon City.
Meanwhile, Kian Baclaan scores from downtown.
Well, we all know the type of caliber player that Kian is. So it goes without saying that he's definitely going to be the marked man for the Caloocan Batang Kankaloo.
The first points of both teams scored by Lasallians. Baclaan brings it down. Baclaan pulls up. No good for him. They try to get it back and they do. Masiglat, Borselo, Magno, back to Kian. He attacks right. Baclaan, tough shot, won't fall. Hukom picks it up. In transition, Soto will finish it for QC.
Oh, great look away pass there coming from Hukom, finding Soto streaking towards his right side.
Meanwhile, Baclaan, Manzano at the left corner outside of Magno. Back to Kian, back in the back pass, Manzano. He lost it. Nurjaden Datumalim, Soto again, back to Datumalim. Give and go action, won't work for QC.
Sorry miss there.
Masiglat, not that time for Lance.
Another sorry miss, this time from Masiglat. Both Caloocan and Quezon City missing layups here.
Despi able to get himself a foul, or rather draw himself a foul, as we'll take another look at that Hugo Soto transition lay-in. Of course, son of Gian Soto, who is present in our game.
Oh no, we are being graced right now by our local government leaders here sa Quezon City.
Serrano gets it back, sends it out. Despi attacks, takes his time. Despi, nowhere to go. On the floor is Masiglat. Magno tried to get the ball, but there's gonna be a call.
You like that even at this early juncture of the game, players are already diving for those 50-50 balls, and it's going to have to be a dogfight here, especially for Quezon City. This could be the last game for their season if they're not able to force a rubber match, but they have to leave it all out on the floor. They have no choice but to go 110% here, and so they can have no regrets regardless of the outcome of this game.
And we're seeing Matthew Hukom replaced by Aza Atienza, as he seems to have gotten hit on the face. Meanwhile, Atienza, great hustle. Datumalim, not that time. There's a call. And the drums actually make it hard for us and everybody here to hear the whistles.
Oh no, Quezon City have brought out their own drumline dito sa New Era to liven up our home crowd.
Magno outside. It's De Leon. Baclan attacks right. Baclan draws himself a foul. And he's saying to himself he should have shot that for 2 freebies. Nevertheless, Caloocan another opportunity. 14 to shoot for the Batang Kankaloo. Baclan gets it. Kian to the other side. Magno trying to attack, almost lost it outside. Baclan for 3. That is short. Magno rising up for that rebound. Outside again. Borsello puts on the moves. Sets it inside. Desabel completes the play.
Good pass there coming from Borsello to find a teammate down at the baseline. You like to see the ball movement being displayed right now by the JY Batang Kankaloo.
And after 2 tries, Dylan Despi unsuccessful. No foul call. Borsello, the floater. Won't work for him. They get it back. But stolen here by Dylan Despi. QC in transition. Serrano unable to complete it. And it's Borsello who gathers the rebound.
Well, in that game 1 loss, Edson Serrano had a double-double of 16 points and 10 rebounds. He needs to duplicate those numbers here today if he hopes to keep their season alive.
And what just happened? I was about to say that guy, Lance Masiglat, will make it hard for Edson. But the basket is no good. It's stuck. And that's such a rare moment. Even in the NBA, it doesn't happen.
Oh, especially shooting from point-blank range. No, Lance Masiglat not putting enough juice on that shot. Medyo napagod yung bola dun, no? Magpahinga muna on top of the rim. But the ball will stay with the JY Batang Kankaloo with 14 seconds on their shot clock.
Stolen by Hukom. The lefty in transition. Counter steal by Andrex Magno. This time it's Borsello attacking, rising. Not that time. Desabel hustling for the rebound. He gets it back.
That's what Desabel is there for. He's known to do all the little things for the teams that he has played for. You know, diving for loose balls, scrapping with taller big men. And you can't express enough how important he is going to be for this team's playoff push.
And we see Baclan getting fouled. 2 freebies coming up for the Green Orchard. And obviously, we have the big names in Caloocan. We have Baclan, Masiglat, Borsello. But again, just like what you said, the names like Desabel, Manzano, those are crucial. Those will be the X factors for the Batang Kankaloo.
That's right. And with the return of Kian Baclan, that makes this Caloocan team that much more dangerous as we see a double foul here.
Called on Serrano and Masiglat, and that's one matchup will be entertained, more than entertained to see. Masiglat actually having a few words for Serrano. This will be an entertaining one. Atienza brings it down, he's up against Kian. Atienza successfully brings it down. Datumanim up top, finds Atienza inside, a mid-range jumper, that's good for Aza. Baclan, to the other side, Magno. Masiglat asking for it. Magno won't give it to him. Gives it to Kian instead. Baclan attacks, one-hander, won't work. Desabel, the dirty work, not that time. And QC, another chance. De Leon, Datumanim, the spin. The big guy puts on the moves. Won't work for him. Atienza offensive board. Outside again to De Leon. Shot clock at 8. De Leon for 3. Bang!
Well, the way I see this series going is whoever is going to win this one, even though Caloocan is already up 1-0, is whoever gets more of the 50-50 balls. No, it's not going to be about talent or skill at this juncture. We all know who the talented players are. We all know which roles belong to which player. But whoever is first to those 50-50 balls, whoever dives first, whoever fights for every possession, that will ultimately determine the way this series will go, because they are much more evenly matched than you would think, even with the presence of Kian Baclan. So Quezon City still has a chance here to extend this series, but they have to do all the right things
Meanwhile, De Leon, no good on the shot. Had all the confidence in the world. Joko Boroselo has it. Outside dish. Magno back to Joko. Boroselo attacks baseline, finds Desabel. Not that time. They try to get it back, but they won't. De Leon in transition for the Alpha Giants. Muyuela for three. Bang!
Well, that three-point shot from Rance Muyuela has to be there for him in this ball game, and that will make it that much more difficult for Caloocan to guard Quezon City.
And with that, it's a 6-point lead for the Alpha Giants as the Nature Spring timeout is called by the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo. Another look at that three-point shot by former Greenie from LaSalle Greenie Hills, Rance Muyuela. We'll be back for more action.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Para nga dito sa kapunan ng Quezon City Alpha Giants, binanggit nga ni Coach Kim Cinco that during their Game 1, ang dami naging lapses ng kanilang team na pagdating sa defense. Kaya naman nagkaroon sila ng changes or rotations ng players, lalo't na 3 key players daw ang hindi makakapaglaro for this game. But aside from that, binanggit nga ni Coach Kim na malaki daw ang tiwala niya sa mga ito kahit na hindi sila kompleto for this game. Choldo and Kyle?
Thank you very much, Nicole, for that report. And again, indeed, QC has been facing challenges such as not being totally complete, talking about lineup-wise for this game. And that's going to be the challenge. So far, so good for them, actually. They're up by 6. Let's see if they can maintain their performance. Boroselo, Magno up top, the pick from Desabel. Desabel inside, lost it. Picked up by Hukom. In transition, here's Rance Muyuela. Attacks right, drops it. Great find, overcooked that shot. And rebound picked up by Magno. Possession will still go to Caloocan, but that was great defense coming from QC.
In our first game, the transition game of Novaliches was one of the keys that kept things close against the Batang San Juan Knights. But this time, I believe that it's the half-court execution of Quezon City. And they can slow things down and slow the pace down to their favor against the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo.
Meanwhile, what a move coming from Kian Baclaan, proving what kind of player he is. Another look. Razzle dazzle, now you see me, now you don't. In traffic, Kian Baclaan rising up for 2 points. We'll be back for more action.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bolanang Pinoy, Don Benito's ang Pambansang Cassava, Nature Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle.
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino.
Back to the action here again. Only a 4-point lead for QC after that Kian Baclaan 2-pointer. Hukong stops and pops. Bang!
Hukom scored the first 2 points of this game, and he's still feeling it from the outside.
5 points in total for Matthew Hukom. Meanwhile, 3-point shot, Gazingan. Won't work for him. De Leon and company in transition. Joshua De Leon drops it. Datumalim unable to receive it. And with that, that's another possession for the Batang Kankaloo.
In the prior play, I wanted to point out that Rance Muyuela has a crucial job here in this ball game, as he's probably going to be matched up with Kian Baclaan for the most part. And one thing he can do is try to take the ball out of Kian's hands and just be that pest. And if he can focus on defense more in this ball game and try to limit Kian's production, that could work wonders for the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants.
So far, it's a 7-point lead for QC, rather for QC. Meanwhile, Armario almost lost it. Baclaan keeps it alive. Outside dish, Delgado, jumper, short, rebound by Pineda. Joshua De Leon with the basketball. Pineda up top, hands it off, or at least try to hand it off, but Pineda finds a way inside. Over a minute remaining. Make it a 9-point lead for QC. Delgado, Armario finds Baclaan at the right side. He'll try for 3. That is short. Mayuela changed his mind, out of bounds. It'll go to QC.
Well, aside from taking the ball out of Kian's hands, as we see this layup there by Pineda, I wanted to correct myself. One thing also that Quezon City can do is try to make Kian take all the shots. So far, majority of their baskets have come from Kian. So if he can take all the shots and negate yung ibang teammates niya, pwedeng malamig yung ibang Batang Kankaloo.
That's a great way of putting it. At first thought, yun yung ayaw mo patirahin siya Pero so far, he's not missing totally all of his shots, pero it's not a good percentage for him so far.
Oh, you could try to force him to beat you by himself, And in the process, medyo malalamig yung mga teammates niya if they don't get their usual touches with him being back in the lineup.
Indeed, great point. That's going to be easier said than done. Meanwhile, that guy, Clint Manzano, also a crucial X-factor for the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo. Make it a 7-point lead only for QC. Hukom against Gazingan. 10 seconds left on our first period. Hukom putting on the move. Step back, inside dish. Pineda dives for it, but that's out of bounds. Last 3 seconds for our first period. A quick sub for Coach Franco Atienza. Looks to be calling the shots, even though he's just a consultant of the team. Of course, head coach of the Converge Fiber Xers. 3 seconds remaining. It's gonna be Gazingan triggering the inbound. Baclaan puts the shot up. That's good! Kian Baclaan from downtown to end our first period, and more importantly, to cut the lead of QC. 17-13, only a 4-point lead by the Alpha Giants. And again, that's what Kian Baclaan can do. Another look at that shot. Just at the brink of time. Baclaan, nothing but the bottom of the hoop for the Green Archer. We'll be back after a short break for the start of our second period. It's 17-13. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang Pambansang Cassava, Nature's Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club, embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle,
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino,
Back to the action here for the start of our second period. And in that first period, it has been Kian Baclaan doing the wonders for Caloocan with 9 points, followed by Desabel and Manzano with 2 points each. And on the other side, Hukom has been that guy, 5 points in total for him.
Quezon City in the 1-2-3 zone right now to try and force itong Batang Kankaloo into some perimeter baskets. That was a great block there.
That was Duaso erasing that shot. Meanwhile, Santos has it. Nowhere to go. The Tumalim inside to Serrano, stolen by Delgado. Here comes the Batang Kankaloo. Delgado, tough shot. Not that time. Dumangkas gets it back. Gazingan still no good on the mid-range J. Manzano fades away. 3 tries and no good for Caloocan. A minute passing by in chapter 2. Hukom drops it to Datumalim, but he wasn't aware of the pass. Turnover, it goes to Caloocan.
Well, if you're on the floor, you have to be ready at all times to receive a pass, whether or not you think your teammate is going for that shot.
Here comes Kian, obviously manning that point guard spot for Caloocan. They circled the ball around on offense. Baclan attacks right, stops off the window. It's good for Kian.
Once again, Kian Baclaan taking matters into his own hands, but still trailing are the Batang Kankaloo 17-15.
Despi, double team. Datumalim gets it inside. Muyuela finds an opening.
Great cut there from Lance Muyuela, recognizing that there wasn't any defender or big man down in the paint.
Only a 4-point lead for the Alpha Giants. Baclaan attacking, sends it inside. Manzana completes it.
And this is the tandem that you have to watch out for right now here for the Batang Kankaloo. Baclaan and Manzano conspiring for that basket.
Only a 1-possession lead for QC. Muyuela outside. Hukom attacks. Mid-range J, that's money for Matthew Hukom.
Using that pump fake to perfection. Great patience there by Hukom to let the defender blow by him.
It's back to a 4-point gap. Baclaan outside. Muyuela picking him up. Baclaan nowhere to go. On the other side, Dumangkas almost lost it. Baclaan again for 3. Bang!
It's only a 1-point lead now for the Alpha Giants, thanks to the heroics of Kian Baclaan, really putting the team on his back here in the first half, already in double figures.
Serrano looking for an opening. Muyuela for 3, able to answer back with his own triple.
This is one of the better starts for Rance Muyuela here in our 2100 division.
Meanwhile, Kian Baclaan, 2 threes in a row, will not back down from the challenge. Kian Baclaan playing out of his mind. 17 big points for him so far. And more importantly, only a 1-point lead for QC. As we'll take another look, Baclaan rising up for that 3-point nuclear bomb. The Green Norcher showing what he can do in our 21 and under division. And that guy, Rance Muyuela, another notable name. Former LaSalle Green Hills Greenie. Nature Spring timeout. We'll be back for more action.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Back to the action here. Again, only a 1-point lead for QC after that big-time Kian Baclaan 3-point bomb. So far, 17 big points for him as Edson Cirano will crash his way inside, draws a foul, and 2 freebies coming up.
Edson Serrano still scoreless so far in this game, hasn't had his usual numbers or the type of impact that you would expect from someone of his caliber. But if he can get going before we end the half, or especially later in the second half, of course this team really needs him to contribute. Not just yung scoring, but yung rebounding nito ni Edson Serrano, very crucial to the season of the 8-8 Giants.
2 out of 2 for Edson Serrano. Make it a 3-point lead for QC. Meanwhile, great hustle coming from Duaso. Baclaan again, step back, corner 3. That is short. Despi with the rebound.
Ian Baclan trying to do everything himself right now, but his teammates haven't had their usual touches.
Meanwhile, Dylan Despi coast-to-coast action for him. Make it a 5-point lead now for the Alpha Giants. Meanwhile, Gazingan having a hard time. Dumangkas, no good on the 3-ball. Rebound Zirano. De Leon setting up a play. Will fire one. Rolls out of the rim. Rebound Gazingan. Forward dish Manzano against Serrano. Outside Baclan, the fake. He'll attack left, then right. Couple of moves, almost lost the basketball. Shot clock at 10. Baclan dancing. Baclan sends it inside. That's going to be an illegal pick called on Clint Manzano.
Ian could have waited just a little bit longer for Manzano to set up that screen.
And for now, we'll be turning it over to Nicole Lim for a report.
Tiwala at kumpiyansa sa sarili, yan nga ang pinanghahawakan ni Lance Masiglat from Caloocan, Batang Kankaloo. Binanggit rin niya na compare sa Game 1, mas focus at iiwasan niya ang turnovers, lalo na their whole team is aiming to get the spot for the North Division Finals. Cholo and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Nicole Lim, for that report. And again, we all know what kind of player Lance Masiglat is. He's a big man, so definitely he has to have that confidence in crashing down inside. He has to have that grit, that toughness.
That's right. Lance Masigla definitely played a pivotal role in that Game 1 win back in January 26. So he had a double-double of 12 points and 10 rebounds, and really helped out itong sila Isabel, Manzano, who are the usual suspects, not down in the paint. But you can't take your eyes off of Lance Masigla because he can really hurt you.
And it's still a 5-point lead for QC. So the ball will stay with the Batang Kankaloo. Dumangkas will trigger the inbound. Baclan looking to receive it. But that time, plans were foiled. Dumangkas outside Baclan, back to Dumangkas. Step back, inside Isabel, back to Dumangkas. Give and go action is good for Caloocan.
That was a sloppy offensive possession for the Batang Kankaloo, but nevertheless, they made that shot thanks to Dumangkas.
Meanwhile, Despi at the left side. Serrano provides the pick. Back to Serrano inside against Isabel. To the other corner. This time it's De Leon. He'll attack right. He'll lose it, but he'll get fouled on his way to the iron.
Borcelo trying to reach in. With a clipping De Leon in the arm. Luckily for the Batang Kankaloo, De Leon wasn't taking the shot yet, so only a sideline inbound for the 8-8 Alpha Giants. For clinging on to a slim 3-point lead.
Yes, only a 1-possession lead. De Leon not that time. They try to get it back, and they do. Hukom nowhere to go. Serrano has it at the middle. Inside, the bump. No good for Edson. Rebound by Lance Masiglat.
Caloocan dodging a bullet there. As I mentioned earlier, it's those 50-50 balls, then those extra possessions that can really help Quezon City extend this series.
That's a travel coming from Kian Baclan. I thought that was an and one. We'll take another look.
Up on that gather, no? That new gather step niya, that was already counted as the first step. So upon taking that 2-step gather, naging 2 and 3 na yung kanyang step. So good call there by our officials.
Meanwhile, Borcelo, not that time. Great coast-to-coast action for him, just couldn't finish.
Another missed layup there coming from Borcelo. Parang may konting distraction dito kay Borcelo. I wonder what that could be.
3 minutes remaining in our first half. The Caloocan Batang Kankaloo will call a Nature Spring timeout. So far, they're playing very well, but of course, they have to play the best they could to end this series. We'll be back for more action.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang Pambansang Cassava, Nature Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle.
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino,
Back to the action here, and we're seeing some fans here coming from Caloocan and Quezon City coming to watch our game live again, as it is game 2 of a best of 3 North Division semi-final series. So definitely stakes are high, and the reason why there are drums rather in the first place on our venue. Masiglat tend to shoot for Caloocan. Pagirigan, that's no good. And he gets it back after his own miss, and he'll attack and redeem himself with a 2-pointer.
And this is what Caloocan needs to do. Some of their other role players need to step up and not rely too much on Kian out there, especially on the offensive side of the floor.
Meanwhile, Dylan Despi, cold-blooded shot. He says 3 is better than 2. Makes it a 4-point lead for Quezon City. So far, Despi with 5 points in this game. Borcelo, the pull-up, no good for Joko. Masiglat, great rebound, but stolen immediately by Despi. That's gonna be a foul on De Leon. Rather, on Caloocan, I'm sorry.
Masiglat needs to do a better job of keeping that ball high and using his wide frame to shield the ball from his defender. You can't put the ball down or make it so easy for the guards of the opposing team to swipe at it.
Hukom. They lost it. Masiglat with the steal. Moyuela taps it away, but Pagirigan able to recover. And then it's Masiglat attacking from the right. Borcelo completes it. Back to a 2-point lead. Still in favor of the Alpha Giants. Moyuela at the left side. Serrano looking for an open teammate. Finds Moyuela at the right side. And then it's Despi attacking left. He puts one up. Basket and one for Dylan Despi.
Well, that was a fearless drive from Dylan Despi. Pagigiran was draped all over him, but he would not be denied, as we have this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted play. Even with Masigla trying to help out, no, just a little late on that rotation, allowed Despi to get that shot off.
7 points and counting for Dylan Despi, along with 3 rebounds and a single dime. And he'll complete the 3-point play and make it a 5-point lead for his own squad. Borcelo, the pick from Lance Masiglat. Baklaan for 3, bang!
And if I'm not mistaken, that's already Kian's 20th point of this game, and we're only at the second quarter.
Yes, you're not mistaken, Kyle. That is indeed Kian Baklan's 20th point. We'll take another look at that Kian Baklan left wing 3-point bomb. Arrows up for Mr. Baklan.
Oh, he really gets a good elevation on his jumper. Legitimate jump shot yung mga tinitira nito ni Kian. And here in this game, it's been on target.
First one is good for Despi. So far, QC able to hold on to a small lead, maintaining it. But let's see if Caloocan can get it. 2 out of 2 for Dylan Despi. Make it 10 points now for him. Under a minute remaining in our first half. Borcelo to the right side. Baklaan the fake. Baklaan for 3. Off the back iron. Rebound by Masiglat. Now Borcelo attacking. Not that time for Joko, but 2 freebies coming up.
And credit that to Lance Masiglat getting that offensive rebound, and that's exactly why he's on the floor, even though he's a little undersized for his position. As I said, he really knows how to use his body, and he allowed Borcelo a chance at the basket.
First one is no good for Jacobo Orcelo. Currently playing for the St. Clair Saints. Second one on its way. 1 out of 2 for Borsello. More importantly, only a single-digit lead. A single possession lead, I'm sorry, for Quezon City. Under 40 seconds remaining. Despi at the right side up against Pagirigan. The blitz on him. He finds Muyuela. The tumalim to Atienza for 3. Overcooks the shot. Last 22 seconds. Baklaan with a basketball. At the left side. Muyuela picking him up. Baklaan taking his time. And a foul will be called.
Good foul there by Rance Muyuela as Kian was trying to drive to the basket. Only 8 seconds remaining for the JY Batang Kankaloo to get a shot off. And for the most part, we all know who that ball is going to.
Eight seconds remaining. Baklaan has the basketball. Inside dish, Desabel. What a pass coming from Kian Baklaan. And Desabel, hindi naman pinahiya itong si Kian. And more importantly, only a 1-point lead for Quezon City at the half. We'll take another look. Kian Baklaan, unselfish play. He has 20 points, but make no mistake, he can pass the basketball in great fashion. And we'll be back after a short break, after our halftime break. It's only a 1-point lead for Quezon City, 36-35. We'll be back. And once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang pambansang kasava, Nature's Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle.
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino,
Mga kaliga, kasama natin ngayon sa ating halftime interview ang head coach ng Caloocan, Batang Kankaloo, Coach RJ Patricio. Coach, simula pa lang ng laro, mainit at crucial na. Ano po yung magiging sistema nyo para makuha ang lamang?
Well, number one, we really have to put pressure on our defense. Masyadong madali yung mga tira nila. They were able to make it. So, really have to step it up pagdating sa depensa namin.
Coach, ano yung ine-expect yung ipapakita ng inyong players para sa ating second half ng laro?
Yun. Well, I guess, as mentioned, defense talaga. And really have to actually work on that in this third quarter if you want to win this game.
Coach, meron po ba kayong gustong batiin o pasalamatan?
Well, of course, number one, yung mga supporters ng Caloocan kay mga nandito ngayon, si Congressman Dina Sischo, kay Ano Sischo, kay Boss Jan Sibron, Hook Up, Boss Jan Yap, Oka Malapitan, at saka kay sa buong Caloocan. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Coach RJ. At stay tuned for more action after the short break.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang pambansang kasava, Nature's Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle.
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino,
And And at the half, it's 36-35. Only a 1-point lead by the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants. And so far, both teams actually have been on a roll. For the Quezon City Alpha Giants, it has been Dylan Despi scoring 10 points. And on the other side, doubling Despi's effort, Kian Baclaan already with 20 points in this game. And again, it's going to be a big task for Quezon City, but they do have a 1-point lead, so that's a good start.
That's right, for our halftime stats, the 1-point lead for the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants, 36-35. 44% field goal shooting for Quezon City compared to Caloocan's 35%. 3-point shooting pretty much even, 5 makes for both teams, but Caloocan shooting a lot more from beyond the arc, 16 attempts compared to Quezon City's 11. Caloocan out-rebounding itong Quezon City 23-18 rather, and also out-assisting itong Quezon City are the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo 97. Sa turnovers also, itong Quezon City already have 10 here at the half, while Caloocan has 7.
And obviously, even though Quezon City has been the more efficient team, there's still one problem for them. It has been, again, Kian Baclaan scoring majority of the points, already 20 points for him. The next one is Clint Manzano with only 4 points. So definitely the formula is as simple as it gets. Stop Kian Baclaan, you stop the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo. And speaking of, we're seeing flashes of orange in our audience. Perhaps friends and family of our players. And of course, on the other side, Quezon City's side, of course, we're seeing familiar faces as well. And of course, special thanks as well to Vice Mayor Gian Soto. Of course, his son, Hugo Soto, plays for the Quezon City Alpha Giants. And of course, Congressman Dean Asistio of Caloocan. So the Alpha Giants getting called from their dugout. Looks like Coach Franco Atienza really took his time in writing up possible plays and recalibrating what needs to be recalibrated in his team. And again, that's Vice Mayor Gian Soto. Thank you very much for attending this game, of course, for watching your son play basketball. And of course, an honor to have you here. And to start our third period, our score 36-35.
And so far, it's only Dylan Despi who scored double figures para dito sa Quezon City, but it's been a much more balanced offensive output for the 8-8 Alpha Giants. And on the other side, Kian Baclaan, as you see him on our screens, already exploding for 20 points in the first half alone. And Quezon City trying to make Kian beat them by himself and let the other players go cold from the field, although meron ng mga contributions, of course, sila Manzano, sila Borcelo, Masiglat. It's not their usual numbers.
Meanwhile, Coach Franco Atienza getting warned for resentment of call. Meanwhile, Desabel, not that time, choking. That was a great pass from Choco Borcelo, though. Meanwhile, Despi, what a pass to Edson Serrano, that tip pass. Beautiful sequence for Quezon City.
Edson Serrano still unable to break in double figures, but this is his chance now here in the second half to try and salvage this season for his team.
And with that, lead is back to 3 for Quezon City. We'll take another look. Again, Dylan Despi, no look tip pass. It's as beautiful as it gets. A minute passing by in Chapter 3. Hukom, Serrano, stolen by Borcelo. In transition, Gazingan, Borcelo, still no good. Despi, it's his turn. Quezon City on a rush. And Dylan gets fouled. 2 freebies coming up for Dylan, who has 10 points so far, 3 rebounds and a single dime. Another look on that attack from him. Again, he had a couple of end ones during that first period. And that's Coach Franco Atienza. Again, was called for a warning a while ago. Definitely a very animated coach. first
Despi
one.
shooting well from the field here today. Oh, the only player so far in double figures for Quezon City.
First one is good for Dylan. Second one on its way. 1 out of 2 for Despi. But they got a 4-point lead. De Leon pressuring Baclaan. Perhaps that assignment given to him by Coach Franco Atienza. Baclaan attacks. Baclaan. It doesn't matter what you do. Kian will find a way.
Kian Baclaan putting that ball in all directions. Talagang iniwas niya sa lahat ng bantay.
Hukom for 3. Bang! Big time shot from the lefty, Matthew Hukom.
Hukom still shooting well from the field here as he did in the first half.
Back to 4. Gazingan, not that time. Body's on the floor, out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo. And we'll take another look at that Kian Baclaan sequence. Up and under move, mid-air. What can you do against him?
Oh, Kian Baclaan going north, south, east, and west. No? Lahat ng direksyon pinuntahan na niya. Sumbola in that play. The results were the same. Another bucket for Kian.
Meanwhile, Despi has 11 points. Outside dish, Hukom for 3. Back to back. Matthew Hukom from downtown.
The player is down para dito sa Quezon City. I think that's Despi who's holding on to his foot or ankle.
Hopefully it's nothing serious, but we weren't able to see clearly kung ano bang nangyari.
The medical team immediately walking over dito kay Dylan to try and check out what exactly is wrong and ailing him at the moment. Our officials, meanwhile, walking over to our replay center to try and check what happened on that last play. We were all focused on Matthew Hukom, who took another three-pointer and made it, of course. Shooting very well here today. And on the other side of the floor, nakita na lang natin itong si Dylan, who is sprawled on the court, holding on to his left foot and walking gingerly back to the bench. But it's a good sign na nailalakad niya, no? Getting able to put weight on it. And you know, kita natin yung nangyari doon.
And again, it's indeed good to see kahit pa paano nalalagyan niya ng weight. And obviously from his facial expression, hindi naman siya mukhang nasaktan. Maybe that's the kind of player he is, but nevertheless, it's good to see na hindi naman sobrang lalo nangyari. Hopefully we'll see him soon. And again, he has 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 dimes. So an overall performance for him so far. Obviously, Quezon City will need him down the stretch. But if you're Caloocan, you have to make the most of the time that he's not around. So far, 7-point lead. Last 6 points scored by only one guy, Matthew Hukom. Courtesy of his 2 3-pointers. Dumangkas drops it to Disabel. Outside again. Ian Dumangkas against Hukom. Hands it off to Kian. Baclaan going to work. Step back, 3-pointer. Bang!
What more can you say about Kian Baclaan? He's really tried to do everything here for his team today.
The attack, De Leon. Not that time. It's gonna be 2 freebies for him. So far, 25 big points for Kian Baclaan. This time, Joshua De Leon a chance to stop some rhythm, stop some groove going on for Caloocan with these freebies. City. First one was no good for Joshua De Leon. It was good actually, making it 5-point lead. And he'll go 2 out of 2. 5 points so far for Joshua De Leon. Making a 6-point lead for Quezon City. And Dumangkas this time will be the one to bring it down. But Kian is asking for it. And Muyuela getting called for a foul.
Getting a little over-eager, trying to deny the ball dito kay Kian Baklaan was Rance Muyuela. And he does have the unenviable task of matching up with Kian here today.
Siglat against fellow big man Edson Serrano. Dumangkas for three. Not that time. Muyuela secures the board. De Leon, Hukom for three. Bang! Matthew Hukom, 3 3-pointers in the third quarter alone.
And if it's Kian Baklaan for Caloocan, it's been Matthew Hukom para dito sa Quezon City, who has been lighting it up.
9-point lead. Dumangkas overcooks the shot. Decibel hustling for it. But it's gonna be a foul. So far, 15 big points for Mr. Hukom. We'll take another look. Corner shot. Hand in his face. Doesn't matter. The CSP Blazer will knock that down any time of the day. Meanwhile, the attack. And that's good. So that was Roy Domingo introducing himself in this game. 7-point lead. Another whistle in favor of Quezon City. So both teams, 3 fouls given already. We'll take another look at that Roy Domingo attack on the right.
Both teams playing 4-on-4 on the other side of the floor, no? When it's Caloocan's possession, and when the nakabox and one tong si Rance Muyuela kay Kian Baklaan.
Meanwhile, the Tumalim receives it outside. Hands it off. Muyuela to Serrano, the big guy for three. Off to the left. Baklaan has the basketball. He'll attack. He puts one up. No good for Kian. Muyuela not wasting any time. Eyes on the prize. Rance Muyuela not falling for him. And then there's a whistle.
So 2 missed layups from both Kian and Rance Muyuela. Caloocan still trailing by 7 points.
As we're nearing the 5-minute mark of our third period. Roy Domingo has the basketball at the right side. Hukom defending him. He finds Baklaan. Kian stops. Mid-range J. No good for Kian. Both teams hustling for it. Ends up with the Tumalim. Then he finds Hukom. Basket and one for the lefty. Matthew Hukom finding a way inside. What a game it has been for him. 17 points and counting for this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
And the offense of Caloocan a bit stagnant right now. And you can't really say na limitahan itong si Kian Baklaan because he already has 25 points. But for at least the past few possessions, no, na lilimitahan siya ni Rance Muyuela, who has just been a pest on the defensive end so far. Already denying Kian kahit on the other side of the floor may bola.
Got a 9-point lead for QC. Baklaan getting fouled intentionally. And if you're Quezon City, you'd like to foul him, make him work for his points rather than give him open looks.
Muyuela already sliding his feet, no? Pero hindi mo na kailangan sundutan. Itong si Kian, if you're going to put him at the free throw line, that could be an easy 2 points for Baklaan.
Kian Baklaan, not the tallest player. Kasi nakatang nating referees, but kita mo naman sa output he's been showing, he's been producing. 25 points already. 0 out of 2 for Kian. Rebound captured by Serrano. Despi to the left corner. The attack by Santos. Draws a foul for himself.
Well, that was a wild drive coming from Santos, but a bailout foul coming from Manzano, who was a little late on the rotation, trying to take that charge.
That's 2 freebies coming up for Kion Santos. A chance to put his team up double digits. First one is good for Santos. Officially a double-digit lead now for QC. Second one coming your way. 2 out of 2 for Kion Santos. 11-point lead for QC. Caloocan swinging the ball around the arc. Domingo for 3. Big time shot by Roy Domingo.
And this is what Caloocan needs to do. The other players need to be able to get their shots off, no? As Kian is being hounded right now by Muyuela. Kailangan mag-ambag na rin yung iba.
Kion Santos, nowhere to go. Finds Muyuela. Muyuela attacks, finds an opening.
Not only on the defensive end, but also getting his points and making an impact is Rans Muyuela.
Make it 10 points now for Rans Muyuela. Meanwhile, Clint Manzano gets fouled. No one was there to pick him up inside.
Oh, Pineda caught sleeping there, unaware Manzano was already cutting behind him as we see that last play. Rans Muyuela driving strong to the basket for 2 points.
We'll turn over to Nicole Lim for a report.
For our second half of the game, the Caloocan squad will still be focusing with a strong defense and transition offense. Katulad nga ng sabi ni Assistant Coach Jeric Bailen, huwag hayaan basta-basta makashoot ang kabilang kapunan as they try to get the momentum on the third quarter. Cholo and Kyle.
Thank you very much, Nicole, for that report. And indeed, as cliche as it sounds, defense wins championships. And certainly, there's a reason why it's cliche.
Oh, and as cliche as it is still true, and it does still apply, you know, even in modern basketball. And that's what Caloocan's been trying to do. No, they've been trying to get that momentum back to their side here in the third quarter. But every time they've made a basket, may sagot. Itong Quezon City, led by the likes of Matthew Hukom, Dylan Despi, and Rans Muyuela, who's done a stellar job of just trying to make life difficult or irritate itong Skian Baclaan, who has exploded already offensively here para sa Batang Kankaloo.
First freebie is no good for Joshua De Leon. They're up by 8 points. So far, 6 points now for Joshua De Leon. It's back to a 9-point lead. Delegado at the right side. De Leon picking him up. The left side, Domingo has it. Nowhere to go, finds Manzano. Elbow jumper, no good for Clint. Isabel gets it back. Domingo for 3. Still not falling for the Batang Kankaloo. Inside Serrano. Bumping Isabel, no foul call. An easy 2-pointer for Edson Serrano.
Isabel trying to sell the call, our officials telling him that that was a flop. So you have to just stay strong, especially when you're in the paint.
Another foul drawn by Kian Baclaan. 2 freebies coming his way. He missed his last 2 freebies. And we'll take another look at that. Again, Kian easily penetrating, but Quezon City doing everything they can to deny him.
Nanlaki yung mata ni Kian nung nakita niyang si De Leon yung bumabantay sa kanya. No? It was no longer Muyuela, who is on the bench right now getting a breather. Kian Baclaan once again trying to do everything for his team, or at least on the offensive side of the floor, already scoring 25 points.
First one is good for Kian. 26 points for him. And safe to say, Rans Muyuela has been the best defender assigned to him. 27 points now for Kian. And here comes De Leon and company. De Leon against Domingo. The pick from Pineda. Despi for 3. Won't work for Dylan. Here comes Roy Domingo. drops it. Manzano unable to sink it. Decibel got it back. There seems to be a call.
Oh, that was a clean block up top by Serrano, but I think it was De Leon or Despi, it looks like De Leon, who reached in as Decibel got that offensive rebound and went up for that putback.
2 freebies coming up for Leonard Decibel. 4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist for him. Not the noisiest numbers, but again, you said a while ago, he does the dirty work.
All the intangibles, no? Really making a huge impact kahit hindi mo lagi makikita sa stat sheet yan. But that's why Decibel always gets consistent minutes kahit saang team siya maglaro because you know the type of effort that he will bring. The type of, kind of reminds me of Jeremy Sohan from the Spurs, no?
Great comparison, I could also see it. Siguro kailangan na niya kulayan yung buhok niya or something.
Not only the style of play, but there's also a resemblance yung medyo magkahawig sila.
Kaya pala.
Kailangan na lang niya gayahin yung one-handed free throw and he's all set.
But so far, Decibel has 6 points to his name along with 6 rebounds. So we're seeing Coach RJ Patricio having conversation with our officials. Coach Franco Atienza not wasting any time, calling his players immediately to drop a possible play. But we're still figuring out what the issue seems to be. Our officials still reviewing things as Coach RJ Patricio gathers his players, talking to them, capitalizing on this mini timeout they have. As we have under 2 minutes remaining in Chapter 3. And we'll take another look.
Our officials just trying to make sure that they made the right call here. I'm not really sure what happened on that last play, you know, if there was anything dun sa box out.
So Clint Manzano gets called for a foul, a holding foul to be specific.
So there was no call on the previous play, but they corrected it and gave a foul dito kay Manzano, who sent Serrano to the free throw line. Of course, both teams now in the penalty.
That's going to be in favor of QC. Again, they have the lead. And their goal is to extend that lead. And officially, that's double-digit lead once again for the Alpha Giants. Both teams, no more fouls to give. Manzano, Domingo at the left side. He will reject that Manzano screen. That's another foul. No, not a foul, but a violation apparently for Domingo. A minute and a half remaining in Chapter 3. De Leon brings it down against Boroselo. Serrano at the low post against Decibel. Natumalim, he fades away. Mid-range J won't work for him. But Serrano gets it back. Stolen here by Baclan.
Not the best foul there for De Leon. I understand you want to try and stop the fast break, but you're in the penalty. So instead of stopping the fast break, you're giving 2 free looks for Kian Baclan of all people.
That's 27 points.
Sometimes you really just have to make the extra effort to sprint back on defense, no? Instead of taking the easy way out by taking a foul.
First one is good for Baclan. Second one on its way. Short for Kian. So the lead is cut down to single digits for QC. De Leon putting on the moves. Sends it out. In and out for Soto.
And that was a good look, just a little to the right, which made the ball go in and out para dito kay Soto.
Meanwhile, Clint Manzano not missing his opportunity, scoring 2 points. More importantly, cuts the lead to just 7 for QC. Serrano against Manzano. Hands it off. Couple of passes for QC. Ends up with Despi. That shot is blocked by Romy Domingo. This time it's Baclan. Tough shot. Not that time. Rebound secured by Despi. In transition, no look pass to Serrano. Great play in transition for QC.
And when your big man is running the floor, you always have to reward them. Great job there by Serrano.
Last 6 seconds. Borsello is aware of the time. He puts one up. Won't work. Serrano, full court attempt. And that's going to be the end of our first 3 quarters. Our score is 62-53. A 9-point gap in favor of the Quezon City 8-8 Alpha Giants, as they've outscored Caloocan in that third period 26-18. And what a game it has been. Still far from over. Again, Kian Baclan on fire. So definitely if you're Caloocan, you're going to want to give him the basketball and hope for the best. And we'll be back for more action. Once again, this is the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL D-League.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle.
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino.
Back to the action here for the start of our fourth and final period. Again, this is game 2 of the North Division semi-final series between Quezon City and Caloocan. Caloocan with a 1-0 lead in the series, but can Quezon City extend their season?
Well, they've made the right plays to put them in a position to force a rubber match, but Caloocan and Kian Baclan have one more quarter to finish things off here sa ating North Division semifinals.
30 big points now for Kian Baclan. What more could he ask for from the Green Orchard? Meanwhile, Kukom no good on the shot. Rebound by Borsello.
And this was that last bucket against a trio of QC defenders. Kian Baclan taking it all the way.
Manzano hands it off. Domingo, awkward shot, not falling. Datumalim secures the board. A minute passing by. Serrano, no one was there to pick him up.
And Serrano has done a good job at that. No? Once he sees that his team already has possession, talagang sprint siya. Rim running towards the basket.
Meanwhile, Despi grabs the steal. Dylan Despi, almost an end one again. But nevertheless, that's 2 freebies coming up. So far has 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 dimes. And we'll take another look at that attempt from Dylan.
I'm glad to see that he's back. No? He looked like he suffered a little ankle sprain earlier, but it appeared to be mild as he's not even walking gingerly now. No? Hindi na siya iika-ika. And his services have been very important for his team here today.
Second one on its way. 10-point lead for QC. But still plenty of time for Caloocan to make something happen. The attack, that's no good from Borsello. In transition, De Leon, great pass. Serrano being smothered by 2 defenders. I mean, no choice but to foul someone as big as him running down the lane.
No, Serrano did a good job once again, trailing the play. And De Leon recognizing that Serrano has the ability to put that ball on the floor, taking one dribble.
And again, you told me a while ago that you have to do the early work. You have to deny him in the first place of getting that basketball. And Caloocan failed to do that in that sequence.
Oo, for a lot of players naman, tanggalan mo lang sila ng buwelo. You can force them at the very least to pass that ball, give it up, and maybe set their offense. No? Pero kung nakabuelo na isang player, especially these young players that we have now who are athletic regardless of position, pag nakabuelo na yung mga yan, it's hard to meet them at the rim. More often than not, they will get fouled and go to the free throw line. So, malayo-layo pa lang, dikitan mo na. At least kung makatanggap sila ng bola, magdadalawang isip man lang sila. That's the least you can do to force them to think and make other decisions on the floor as a unsportsmanlike foul is called.
So it's called on Lance Masiglat. That's big. So far, Lance Masiglat only has 5 rebounds and a single dime, but he has been stopping Edson Serrano the whole game. So that'll mean he'll sit for 3 minutes. More importantly, Quezon City a chance to extend the lead with free throws and a possession. First one is good for Edson. So far, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Double-double performance. 2 out of 2 for Serrano. To make matters worse, one more possession for QC. 12-point lead already being handled by the Alpha Giants. Kian Baclan and company should do something about it. Almost a steal. Serrano to Hukom. Matthew Hukom attacks. 2 more points for Matthew Hukom.
The highest scorer for the 828 Alpha Giants, Matthew Hukom, has been shooting from outside and also been finding gaps in the defense for shots such as that.
19 big points now for Hukom. Meanwhile, Baclan will attack. Not that time, but 2 freebies coming up for Kian. So far, 30 big points for him.
A chance to add 2 more to his total. Kian Baclan taking on all defenders. Once he beats his initial defender, kahit yung help defense, really having difficulties in trying to contest his shot.
First one doesn't fall for Baclan. And surprisingly, standing at around 5'7", Kian Baclan has a 2-motion shot.
Oo, no? For someone with his height, 5'7", 5'8", to be the scorer that he is, speaks volumes about his work ethic and yung natural God-given abilities nito ni Kian.
2 minutes passing by in our final chapter. A big lead handled by QC. That's 13 to be exact. Hukom, mid-range J. 21 big points for Matthew Hukom.
And he's been scoring from all over the floor, no? From 3, driving to the lane for floaters and layups, and even hitting the mid-range jumper.
Meanwhile, a turnover. So Lance Masiglat. 4th foul called on him. So apparently it wasn't him that was called for unsportsmanlike a while ago. So we have to check on that, but that's a good thing for Caloocan. Masiglat has been the one stomping Serrano all game. Meanwhile, QC another chance to extend the lead. Hukom, 21 points already. Serrano inside, Datumalim. He fades away. That's good for Nurjadin Datumalim. His first bucket of the game, by the way.
The lead has now ballooned to 17 points.
That's a bad sign if you're Caloocan. The worst time to let your opponents have a 17-point lead. Datumalim completing that play. Again, that was his first bucket of the game. Nature's Spring timeout called by Coach RJ Patricio. We'll be back for more action.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang pambansang kasava, Nature's Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club. Embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle.
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant. Winford Resort and Casino.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Back to the action here. Over 7 minutes remaining in our final chapter. Again, 17 points is the gap in favor of QC. Baclan, step back three-pointer. Rolls out of the rim, rebound by Serrano. And QC looking determined to extend their season and to tie this series one apiece. Hukom to Datumalim, almost lost it. Datumalim inside, Hukom again, basket and one. 23 points and counting for Matthew Hukom.
Still a lot of time in this ball game. 6 minutes 47 seconds as you see this bound for pound fitness foul counted move. Hukom hitting that shot and one. Still a lot of time in this game, but Quezon City really putting themselves in a good position to extend this series if they're able to hold on.
Hukom unable to complete the play, the three-point play. Nevertheless, 21 big points for him. It's a 19-point lead now. Caloocan having difficulties. Masiglat hustling for the basketball. He gets it, and he loses it to the Tumalim. But they'll get it back. Gazingan, tough shot. Goes in anyway, and they needed that one.
Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're lucky, and sometimes you're both. And that was a good shot there. And if you're Caloocan, you'll take every basket you can.
Meanwhile, Despi, Pinoy step won't work for him. Serrano keeps it alive. Outside again, Dylan. And QC being smart with time, but they have 5 on the shot clock. Despi again. That's another foul. Caloocan failing to do the early work, just like what you're saying.
Oh, and the Quezon City 828 Alpha Giants are having an easy time cutting to the basket, and yung mga cutters nila have been receiving that ball, and as soon as they get that ball, talagang they wasting no time to take those shots. Earlier, Hukom had an and one. This time, Despi naman just simply running towards the basket. Good recognition from Serrano. You have to bump the cutters if you're Caloocan, no? Hindi pwedeng nagja-jogging or nagsisprint papunta sa basket yung mga players ng QC without any resistance. You have to try and bump them, of course, without fouling. Caloocan already is in the penalty, but you have to just be a little bit more physical.
1 out of 2 for Dylan Despi. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 6 times for him so far. All-around performance for Dylan. Meanwhile, Caloocan, the fadeaway. Gazingan drawing himself a foul. And again, they've scored 2 points a while ago. And then a chance to score more points. Who knows? This might be a sign of good things to come. So far, Gazingan has been fairly quiet in this game. Alex Gazingan, only 2 points. Make it 3 points. First one is good. Again, Caloocan will get the points wherever and whenever they can. 2 out of 2 for Lex. And then full court pressure implemented by Coach RJ Patricio. Rats Moyuela being harassed. The Tumalim. This time it's Aza. Traveling call on him.
And it's only a 16-point lead, 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Mathematically possible, definitely, for the JYQ Batang Kankaloo to get back into this game, that they just have to take it possession by possession and not try to force too many shots. But this isn't a good sign for them as Hukom goes back to the free throw line.
So, technical freebie. And Hukom make it 24 points for him so far, along with 2 rebounds and 2 times. Just like that, it's back to a 17-point lead. Slowly but surely, time is running out for Caloocan. That shot erased by Edson Serrano. Luckily, Caloocan will get the possession back. Desabel receives it. Hands it off. Gazingan for 3. Not that time. Magno. Pagirican this time. Still not falling for Caloocan, but they'll get it back for the 3rd time. Inside, no good for Magno. Then possession still with Caloocan, as Baclan will enter after resting just very shortly.
Oh no, he can't afford to rest for too long. Badly needed. Ulit ang scoring dito ni Kia Baclan.
Meanwhile, that's another foul called on Aza Atienza. 3rd team foul of QC. Still no good. Magno hustling for that basketball. And I believe that's going to be the 5th time Caloocan will get the possession in the same sequence.
And that's the 2nd straight possession that Quezon City has given up a foul, which now puts them in the penalty as well.
6 tries and then 1 bucket for Caloocan. Again, not the most efficient, but they'll get the points whenever and whatever they can. 15-point lead. Quezon City with an advantage. Then there's a foul.
It looked like Matthew Hukom has started to cramp up, no? Upon getting that ball sa mid-post area, trying to post up. No? May naramdaman agad siya, which forced him to give that ball up immediately, laying down on the floor, being tended to by both his teammates and the medical team.
Yeah, to no one's surprise, again, he's been playing a huge chunk of minutes, almost 30 minutes played in this game. Good for 24 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 dimes.
Easily the best performing player here today for the Quezon City 828 Alpha Giants, Matthew Hukom. Lagare siya today, especially on the offensive side of the floor, hitting baskets from everywhere. But hopefully he'll be able to return in the next 4 minutes for his team. But a lot of other players have contributed, so I'm sure it won't be a problem for Quezon City to maintain this lead.
Meanwhile, Atienza. Wait a minute, that's gonna be an offensive foul. 5 fouls on him, so he's out of this game. Thought it was an and 1, but good thing for Caloocan, it wasn't.
And that's why he was immediately sprinting to the bench. Alam niyang graduate na. Ito si Aza Atienza, who's contesting that should only be his 4th foul. That's why he's still staying on the floor, our officials. Double checking if he indeed does have 5 fouls, which I believe he does. So it looks like that will be it. And we've seen the last of Aza Atienza for today's ball game.
Meanwhile, Baclan not wasting any time. Baclan going to work, and he gets fouled, and that's another pair of freebies coming up. Coach Franco Atienza not happy.
Oh, once again, it was clean up top. Datumalim getting that block. Pero merong sumundot eh. May mahilig sumundot. Every time Kian Baclan drives through the basket, talagang ginawa niyang cones. Yung mga bantay doon, dribbling through the defense.
First one goes in for Kian. 32 points and counting. But still they're down by a bunch. If he makes this one, it's going to be a 13-point lead. And he makes it. 13-point deficit. Baclan defending very tightly, and the rest of his squad as well. But De Leon and company able to cross half court. Serrano against Masiglat. inside. Another foul. That's Despy getting fouled. No one, again, the early work has been non-existent for Caloocan.
That was on Magno, who fell asleep there. If you're underneath the basket, you have to be able to see the entire floor. Makikita mo, mayroong quarter. But he had his back turned towards the corner kung nasaan itong si Despy. Great read, no? If you see that the defense isn't looking at you, it's either you ask for the ball and take an outside shot, or you can cut towards the basket, which Dylan did that time.
But there's still over 4 minutes remaining. So if you're Caloocan, again, no reason to panic, but slowly but surely you're losing time, so you have to do something about it. So far, this guy, 13 points to his name, along with 5 rebounds and 6 dimes.
And free throws could most likely determine the winner of this ball game, seeing as both teams are already in the penalty. So whoever starts missing would most likely lose, as Dylan Despy misses both.
Yes, through the light of the Caloocan fans. Meanwhile, Baklan slicing the defense, will lose the basketball. He was looking for a foul. Despy redeems himself with a fast break bucket. Meanwhile, Magno, nowhere to go. Masiglat inside. Masiglat, no good. Put back attempt, finally goes in for Lance. His first bucket of the game.
And that's the second player now for Quezon City who has suffered from cramps. This time, Rance Muyuela, immediately upon feeling his leg, his right calf cramping up, no? Talagang bumagsak agad siya. And will be forced to sit out again. And I can't blame him, no? Grabe yung pagod na binuhos din ni Muyuela, not only on the offensive side, pero nakakapagod talaga bantayan itong si Kian Baklaan. Kahit sino, siguro pupulikatin pag 4 quarters mong binabantayan itong si Kian.
And Matthew Hukom goes back in.
Another player who just suffered from cramps as well. We're glad to see that he's back. Hopefully, he'll be able to stay on the floor for the rest of this game.
De Leon drops it. Serrano. Another foul. And the Caloocan fans not liking that call.
Everyone in orange saying that it was all ball from De Leon as he was swiping, as Edson Serrano was trying to take that shot.
You can see the emotions not only from the players but from the fans.
Oo, magkapit-bahay lang ang Quezon City at Caloocan. So this is a rivalry between the two right now here in the semifinals of the North Division. Even though we are in Quezon City, no? Katabi lang ang Caloocan. So you can also argue na parang home crowd na rin ito.
The first one goes in for Hukom. That silences that Caloocan crowd. 25 points now for Hukom. I'm sorry that, yes, that was Hukom. Then there's Edson Serrano free throws as well. To not confuse everybody. So it's a 14-point gap. Serrano, second freebie. Will fall, making it a 15-point lead. Meanwhile, Manzano, the pull-up is good for Clint. 10 points only for him. He'll have to do more.
Oh, those aren't his usual numbers. We know he's capable of much, much more. But what a time for him to hit that basket.
Despy taking his time. Shot clock at 8. Hukom to the left side. De Leon nowhere to go. Puts the shot up. That was no good. Manzano secures the board. Baklan brings it down for the Batang Kankaloo, and he will lose it. You gotta love De Leon's sacrifice. Meanwhile, Hukom foiling that shot. Hukom on the floor again, and this time it's Manzano getting a call.
And that's why it was taking a while for Matthew Hukom. No? Yung fast break, naging slow break. Dahil I'm sure upon receiving that ball, naramdaman niya na agad yung Pulikat. Talagang pinilit na lang niyang itira. But cramps really doing a number on Matthew Hukom right now. And of course, the numbers advantage on the other end, leading to that Manzano layup attempt.
Joshua De Leon, 5 fouls as well. So if you're Caloocan, that's one less pesky defender from your opponent. And Hukom still on the floor. A usual case of cramps. Santos looking to replace him. And again, if you're Caloocan, you'll be happy. You'll be happy Hukom and Muyuela are getting cramps. They've been the guys to do it offensively and defensively respectively. But now Coach Franco Atienza will call a Nature Spring timeout for his players to be able to rest. Again, 2 of his players, Muyuela and Hukom, experienced cramps already, and we'll be back for more action.
Taas noo kahit kanino, walang ibang sinisigaw ang masang Pilipino. Bumagsak, bumangon, hinarap ang mga hamon, hanggang ang kahirapan tuluyan nating matalo.
Back to the action here. 13-point lead for the Batang, or rather for the Quezon City 88 Alpha Giants. Caloocan with a deficit. So Manzano at the line. Again, time is slowly running out for the Batang Kankaloo.
And they need every basket they can get. If he had made both free throws, it would have only been an 11-point lead. But if he makes this next one, that 12-point deficit will still be very manageable for the JY Batang Kankaloo.
1 out of 2 for Clint Manzano. And the full court press implemented by the Batang Kankaloo. Baclan harassing Despi, but they cross half court.
Caloocan has to pull out all the stops right now and get these stops, but they have to be careful as well and balance being aggressive defensively without fouling, as they are in the penalty already. So the same with Quezon City.
Meanwhile, no one saw Clint Manzano open. Leonard Decibel drawing a foul. Smart move coming from Leonard, but he'll have to make the freebies. It's not negotiable.
Oh, and that's a bad foul from Tumalim, no? Biting on that fake. And medyo sumabit siya on the way down dito kay Decibel. And it looks like his lower back or yung glutes niya, no? Yun yung medyo masakit ngayon. And Decibel with a chance to cut this lead down to 10. If he makes both free throws, 2 minutes, 24 seconds, an eternity of basketball still left to be played by both of these teams.
Indeed. Again, no reason to panic if you're Caloocan. First one for Decibel goes in. So far, 8 points and 8 rebounds for Leonard Decibel. 2 out of 2, only a 10-point lead. Caloocan putting on the clamps. Despi harassed by Magno. The screen from Tumalim. And Despi still with him. Magno harassing him. Caloocan again putting on the clamps as much as they could. Soto, no one was there to pick up Kian Santos. So it's back to a 12-point lead, unfortunately. Inside, Manzano draws the foul. That's 2 freebies again coming up for Clint.
Quezon City has to be careful. They are up by 12, but you don't want to give a window of opportunity dito sa Caloocan by consistently putting them at the free throw line.
First one is money for Clint Manzano. He went 1 out of 2 last time. He'll be back to 10 if he makes it. And he does. It's back to a 10-point lead. Caloocan putting on the clamps again. But no one was there to pick up Despy.
And the obvious thing for Quezon City to do is try to milk their shot clock and get the best available shot as possible.
Despy taking his time. Cirano providing the pick. Despy deciding if he'll use it. He will. Shot clock at 5. Despy puts one up. Great defense from the Batang Kankaloo. Baclan in transition. Kian draws a foul. And that's 2 freebies again coming up.
I thought he was gonna pass that ball forward, no? Seeing as time isn't on their side, no? Get the quickest basket possible, but nevertheless, 2 free throws once again coming up for the highest pointer of this ball game, Kian Baclan.
Caloocan before those freebies shot 18 out of 26, good for 69%. Second one on its way for Baclan. Kian goes 0 out of 2.
Very uncharacteristic. We all know the type of scorer that Kian Baclan is, but during crunch time, medyo ngayon pa siya nawawalan ng legs, no? And natamaan, nasikmurahan pa siya doon ni Rance Muyuela. Double black eye for Kian Baclan and a basket for Quezon City.
And Kian on the floor looks to be serious. Hopefully it's not, but he's holding on to his chest area.
He was pressing up on Rance Muyuela. And then immediately nakita natin, no, na may naramdaman dun itong si Kian. So our officials going to the review center now to check out what transpired on that last play to see if there was anything untoward coming from Rance Muyuela. Seeing here, extending that forearm immediately. Kita mo yung epekto, no? Nung impact na yun, naramdaman agad ni Kian. And mukhang masakit nga naman talaga. It's not easy to do kahit magka-height lang sila. Alam natin, bato-bato din tong si Kian. So for him to be sprawled out on the floor like this, it's gotta be painful.
Our officials thoroughly reviewing. And biglang tumahimik ang ating Center for Recreation and Sports. Unsportsmanlike foul called on Muyuela. So let's see if this will be a sign of good things to come for the Batang Kankaloo.
With 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining, definitely all odds are against the JY Batang Kankaloo for this second game. Quezon City trying to extend this series. Remember, they only lost by 2 points in game 1. And this time they've held on to a double-digit lead for much of this second half. Batang Kankaloo have done everything they could to try and get back into this ball game. Quezon City always having an answer.
It's Joko Boroselo at the line. First one is good for Joko. After this, they'll still have one more possession. Hopefully, again, it's a sign of good things to come for the Batang Kankaloo. 2 out of 2 for Boroselo, one more possession. But no Baclan on the floor.
So who will take the shot para dito sa Batang Kankaloo? They have Manzano, Desabel, Boroselo, Magno, and I believe that's Gazinga on the floor right now. We're all very much capable of putting that ball in the basket.
Manzano, air ball. Desabel drawing a foul. That's big. That's gonna be 2 more freebies for Desabel.
A tremendous glue guy for this JY Batang Kankaloo team. Itong si Desabel, he does what is needed at the very exact moment it's needed. This time, getting that offensive rebound once again. And because of that, napag-graduate niya. Itong si Datong Malim.
3 players from Quezon City have been fouled out of this game. First one not falling for Desabel. And under a minute remaining, again, all odds are against the Caloocan JY Batang Kankaloo. Second one on its way. So far, 9 points for Leonard Desabel. Make it 10 points along with 9 rebounds. And Coach Franco Atienza will call a Nature Spring timeout as they're up by single digits, but it's 9 points and we only have under a minute remaining. So let's see what will happen. But they're on the verge of extending their season. We'll be back for more action.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club, embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle,
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino,
Back to the action here again. 56 seconds remaining in our game. 9-point lead for QC. Let's see if Caloocan had some tricks under their sleeve. Despi finds Serrano. Back to Despi. Caloocan doing their best to defend. Despi against Magno. Shot clock at 10. Despi has it. Looking for an open teammate. The blitz on Muyuela. Possession will go to the Batang Kankaloo. And a timeout called right here by Coach RJ Patricio. Again, the Batang Kankaloo down by 9 points. 36 seconds remaining. Let's see what they will do. And we'll be back for more action. .36 seconds, 14 to shoot for Caloocan. Baklaan asking for it. And a foul from beyond the arc on the act of shooting.
What presence of mind coming from Kian Baklaan upon feeling the contact, no? The push from behind, hearing that whistle, immediately turning around to take that three-point jumper. Regardless kung papasok, alam niyang titira siya ng 3 free throws.
First one no good for Kian Baklaan. 3 freebies could have been big.
I'm not used to seeing Kian miss this many free throws in one game, no? Bihira sa kanya yan. But pang ilang minutes na ni Kian yan at the free throw line. And if Caloocan misses this game, I'm sure Maraming extra shots ang ititiran to ni Kian during practice.
So 1 out of 3. Not the best outcome you could have wanted from that foul. Nevertheless, Coach Franco Atienza will call a Nature Spring timeout. They're still up by a bunch. 34 seconds remaining. We'll be back for more action. .34 seconds remaining.
And Caloocan has no choice but to play the foul game. So if Quezon City just goes to the free throw line and knocks down their freebies, this should be a done deal.
Meanwhile, Moyuela able to receive it. Quezon City burning some time. They finally fouled Dylan Despy. So Despy will be shooting freebies. So far, 15, 5, and 6 for Dylan Despy. Great all-around performance for him. A chance to put the icing on top of the cake. First freebie is good.
We are just awaiting the final score, but the results are pretty much in the bag. And Quezon City completing their mission of extending this series to a Game 3. Just when we thought that Caloocan was going to run away with this ball game, especially with the return of Kian Baclan to their lineup, Quezon City surprising everyone by putting out a complete team effort.
Kian Baclan hitting it from downtown, but they're still down by 6 with 10 seconds remaining.
Kian Baclan tipping that ball away from Rans Muyuela, who had trouble getting a grip on the leather. Of course, our officials have to take a look to see if they made the right call. Initially going Quezon City's way, but if ever the call is overturned and it goes back to Caloocan, this could be a pivotal possession.
Another look on what happened or who touched it last.
It looks like Kian has a case there, and he's right. Caloocan gets the ball back. Kian tipped the ball towards Rans Muyuela's hand, and then tumaplis sa kamay ni Rans on its way out. Kaya nag-iba yung direksyon nung bola nung palabas na ito, no? So we all know who is going to get this shot. Not unless 2 or 3 players defend itong si Kian Baclan. Someone else will have to knock down this basket.
Meanwhile, Baclan was asking for it. He is mad. Baclan not happy with what just happened.
And for Magno, no, you can't hesitate. You only have a split second to pass that ball. And nung na-open si Kian for just a moment, no, could have given that ball up. Of course, I understand, nakita niya, libre si Manzano underneath the basket. But delikado kasi yung mga cross-court pass na ganun, especially in crucial moments like this. And Serrano was right around the basket. No? It's not like Manzano was completely open.
That'll do it. The Quezon City 8-8 Junior Giants tie the series 1 apiece. They extend their season. we'll be having our game 3. Safe to say, what a game it has been. Kian Baclan doing everything he can. 37 big points for his squad, but it wasn't enough. As, of course, we all know Quezon City, an overall team effort on their side, but the one who stood out the most was Matthew Hukum with 25 points. And our final score on our screens, 87-80. Again, Quezon City tying the series up 1 apiece. We'll be having a game 3. Stay tuned for our press conference after this coverage. But for now, that's it. Again, thank you very much for everybody who tuned in our junior MPBL playoff coverage. And this has been Cholo Pangilinan, Kyle Sanchez, and Nicole Lim. And once again, this is the one and only Junior MPBL D-League.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL would like to thank Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances,
Dorade Bola ng Pinoy, Don Benito's ang pambansang cassava, Nature's Spring, Pound for Pound Fitness, Pound Active, Jinky Skin,
The Hustle Club, embrace the struggle, believe in your hustle,
Red Dynasty Seafood and Hot Pot Restaurant, Winford Resort and Casino,